ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ नारायणं पद्मभुवं वसिष्ठं शक्तिं च तत्पुत्रपराशरं च व्यासं शुकं गौडपादं महान्तं गोविन्दयोगीन्द्रमथास्य शिष्यं श्रीशङ्कराचार्यमथास्य पद्मा पादं च हस्तामलकं च शिष्यं तं तोटकं वार्तिककारमन्यान् अस्मद्गुरून् सन्ततमानतोऽस्मि। ॐ समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैः स्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति न पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। Hari Om, salutations to all. So from today, when we start the class, 15 minutes or so we will spend in doing contemplation on Omkar. So I'm going to share just a picture as an indication. If anyone needs a form specifically, then one can use the form of Omkar. So we sit erect, close your eyes gently, relax the shoulders, let your hands be in your lap, palms facing the sky. Come to a comfortable posture without any strain in any part of the body. Be aware of your body. Be aware of your breath. Let the breathing be slow, steady, and deep. With every breath you take in, feel that your body is flooded with light. And as you exhale, Let go of any stress or strain. Ensure that your exhalation is longer than your inhalation. In the space between the two eyebrows or in your heart, visualize a circle of white light. In the space between the eyebrows or in your heart, visualize a circle of white light. Invoke the auspicious form of Omkar. Omkar is made of A, U, and Ma. Invoke the auspicious form and have the bhav that this is the shortest symbol indicating the absolute truth, pure consciousness. And it is also the pure consciousness itself. Omkaram bindu sanyuktam nityam dhyayanti yoginaha kamadam mokshadam chaiva Omkaraya namo namaha. Omkar with a bindu is meditated upon by the great rishis. Omkar is Bhagavan, is Ishvara. It's not just sound. It's Ishvara who fulfills our desires and helps us to go beyond desire. To that Omkar Bhagavan, to pure consciousness, I prostrate. With this bhav and keeping this form in the mind, we chant Om 11 times. Take a deep breath. Om. Om. Continue mentally. Having used Omkar as a symbol of the truth to make our mind quiet, we contemplate on Omkar as the very pure consciousness. Om iti etadaksharam idagam sarvam. Om is pure consciousness, which alone appears as the whole universe. Everything here is Omkar alone as pure consciousness. What was, what is, and what will be is consciousness alone. The names and forms are mere modification of the speech. Everything in the dream is the mind of the waker. This body, mind, and intellect, this world of names and forms, is consciousness alone. This changing world also is consciousness. The changeless truth also is consciousness. And that consciousness I am. I am not the body. I am not the mind. I am not this intellect. I am the witness of these. Unaffected by these, uninvolved in these. With the kripa of Bhagavan, Ashirvad of the Guru Parampara, may we realize pure consciousness. Be aware of your breath. Be aware of your body. Be aware of the happenings around you. Thank Bhagavan. Prostrate and surrender to Bhagavan for this glorious opportunity as a human being to know the truth. Om Asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityorma amritam gamaya. Om Shanti. 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 Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Rub your palms, place them on the face, gently open the eyes. So, we were seeing the first mantra of this beautiful Upanishad. Om iti etadaksharam idagam sarvam. The supreme truth, pure consciousness alone, is appearing as all this. And we also saw Omkar as a sound symbol also. A, U, Ma covers the entire range of sound. And we saw that this whole creation is at one level sound vibration which have grossified. And so he says here, Om iti etadaksharam idagam sarvam. Also indicates Om as consciousness is the substratum of the whole universe. Matter is not the base. Consciousness is the base of the whole universe. And we also saw that between A and Ha, all alphabets which are there. So Aham itself indicates that the real I is consciousness. That is our true nature, and that alone is all this. So, Om iti etadaksharam idagam sarvam. Tasya upavyakhyanam, that is being described here in this Upanishad very clearly, profoundly, and as our true nature, not as some object. What was bhutam bhavat bhavishyad, what was, what is, what will be, sarvam omkara eva, is consciousness alone. Meaning, names and forms we may keep seeing, but actually, when we say what was, what is, what will be, is consciousness alone. The simpler meaning is that what was, what is, what will be, the cause is the same. The same truth is the cause of the world yesterday, the world today, the world which will come tomorrow. That is simple meaning. But the deeper meaning is what was, what is, what will be is Omkar alone, meaning Srishti never happened actually. There is only one truth. This time itself is a play of the mind. That's why he says, Yacha anya trikala titam. Whatever is there which is beyond time, that also is Omkar only. So in that context, we will see, we were seeing Gurudev's commentary. Till this we have seen Sarvam Omkar Eva. Now Yacha Trikala Atitam, that we have to see. So think about it. What exactly is time? When we say time, what do we mean by time? Generally we think, okay, the time is the the functional, the time which is indicated by the clock. This clock indicates, no doubt, a certain arrangement which we have come together to understand, and uniformly everybody follows. That's only a functional arrangement. But exactly what is time and who experiences time? It is I who has to be there? The experiencer, Mr. So and so. If that Mr. So and so is not there, then time doesn't exist. Like in deep sleep, when we are unconscious, or in samadhi, no time. Why? Because that I is not there, small I. And that small I obviously is not having its own sentiency. It is pure consciousness identified with one equipment that is functioning through this, and so one is having that small I is having sentiency. So till the experiencer is not there, time cannot be experienced. So the mind has to be there, then time is born. If mind is not there, time is not there. So that's what Gurudev says beautifully in this commentary. The concept of time is a trick of the mind. Where there is no mind, this concept of time also does not function. But we all know that mind in itself is matter, inert and insentient. When the mind is in conjunction with life, it gains a similitude of activity in its sentience and conscience. Thus, that which is beyond time is the very divine spark of life, because of which this assemblage of body, mind, and intellect functions as though it is a vibrant and dynamic being. So, this is what he says is that understanding of time, that it is a play of the mind. And here there's a very nice video of Gurudev also about this that we will see, where he explains. This is one of the most unique explanations. At least I have not heard anyone else yet, or read anyone else who has explained time so simply and very beautifully and connected it to the mind. So see this video of Gurudev.
Time is the interval between events, is Einsteinian definition of time. The objective scientists thought over it and came to the conclusion and became the standard definition of time, interval between events. The Swami came and started talking. Habba! It ended. 1 hour. Oof! Somehow we lived through it. This is called the measurement of time. The 2 points, 2 intervals, is the interval between 2 events. I went to sleep, got up, then the interval. While sleeping there is no time. Why? There are no events at all. If events are not taking place for you, you have no concept of time. That is why under chloroform you have no time. In deep sleep, no time. Interval between events is time. The great subjective masters, the rishis, said that events taking place anywhere cannot give me my experience of time. My experience of time will come only interval between events that take place for me. Events outside taking place for me is called my experience. So the subjective masters defined time as interval between experiences. An experience is impossible without a thought. So the interval between thoughts is a measure of time. So from the infinite consciousness, when the first thought rose, there was no time. It was zero time. No. From A to B is 5 inches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 inches. At A, what was the distance?
0.
0. Then 1 inch, 2 inch, 4 inch, 5 inch. B. When the first thought came, it was 0 time. When the second thought other than the first arose, there were 2 events, first thought experience, second thought experience. Therefore, the concept of time started. That is why time is called not first, but the unit of time is second. You have to say first, second. Because first is 0 time. So the unit of time is second, when the second thought rose and I became conscious of it. This great and higher state of consciousness, since it is not conditioned by time, because time is also an object of our consciousness, we are conscious of the flow of time. So the consciousness that is observing and recognizing and experiencing time, time is an object of consciousness. So then, this higher state being not conditioned by time, the destiny of time and things belonging to time are not his. He, the Lord, is not born or dying. Birth and death, beginning and end, is only in the realm of time. All things are born in Him, exist in Him, and dies and disappears in Him.
So beautifully Gurudev explained how the gap between 2 events is time externally, but internally the gap between 2 thoughts is time. That's why when we, for time, subjective time for everybody is different. Objective time may be the same. While listening to this talk, if your mind is absorbed in the talk, time as though flies. But if the mind is not absorbed, then one keeps watching when this will end, when this will end. So the subjective experience of time is different for each one. And so when Gurudev says this, that 2 thoughts are required, then time is experienced by us. And which is why to say that, what was the first vasana is the question itself is wrong. Because vasana is the cause of the mind. And only when mind is there, then time is there. After the mind, only time is experienced. And so when it is said here that yaccha trikala titam, that which is beyond time means that which is beyond mind. And so when this mantra is saying yaccha anyat trikala titam, what is that which is beyond mind? 2 things are there which are beyond mind. One is the unmanifest avyakrita causal body, individual causal body, total causal body, and pure consciousness. Yaccha anya trikalatitam tadapi omkara eva, that also is omkar only. How do we infer this? What is beyond time, which is beyond mind, is not perceptible. It has to be inferred from the effect. That if there is a manifest world, there has to be the unmanifest. If there is a tree, there has to be a seed. And the whole tree is there in a unmanifest form in the seed. And then that seed appears as this. Of course, in the tree and seed example, the seed perishes. That's the limitation of example. It's not that universe is appearing here, so the cause has perished. That's not the point. The point to understand is that there is the cause which is subtler than the effect. And here we say that yaccha anya trikalatitam. So all this which is manifest, that already the teacher said, Omiti etad aksharam idagam sarvam. Not only what is manifest here, what was manifest, what is manifest, and what will come in future, all that is also Omkar. As sound as well as consciousness, as the substratum. Then he's saying that which is not conditioned by time, that which is beyond mind, that also is Omkar. So the causal body, the avyakrita, the unmanifest, is the cause for this manifest. Today we understand how in psychology also they say the unconscious mind, then the subconscious mind, then the conscious mind. So conscious mind is the tip of the iceberg. Subconscious mind is the largest, and then the base of that is unconscious mind. But all this is still mind. This is going beyond mind. Trikalatitam. So that which is the total causal body, avyakrita. Each of our causal bodies put together, we say total causal body. Samashti Karana Sharira, Avyakta. Different names it will have, Mahat, etc. Ahankara. So many examples are, so many words are used for the totality, the total causal body. So Shankaracharya says that that which is avyakta and which is beyond avyakta, the consciousness that enlivens the causal body, total causal body, as well as the whole manifest creation, including this BMI, that is Omkar. So yaccha anya trikalatitam tadapi Omkara eva. So in this mantra, we are seeing Omkar at both the levels. One, Omkar as the whole creation, what was, what is, what will be, which is manifest. And we are seeing Omkar also as that which is unmanifest, as that which is the base of the whole creation, as the consciousness alone. So having said this, now, so that's what Gurudev has concluded in the commentary, the last para on this first mantra. He says, thus Om represents in its symbolism what happened here? Thus, Om represents in its symbolism as well as in its syllabic significances. Syllabic significances, A, U, Ma. The alphabets cover the whole sound possibilities, that not only the manifest world of plurality, but also its substratum, the unmanifest, which we say as avyakta, as well as non-dual reality, the consciousness. Subjectively, Om necessarily then represents not only the matter envelopment in us, but also the spiritual center behind it all. How is it so? Is the very content of the 12 sacred mantras which constitute the entire Upanishad. Now, this mantra, first mantra, again is the source of this Upanishad, and now this mantra will get elaborated more and more. So now we go to the second one. Sarvam hi etad brahma, ayam atma brahma, soyam atma chatushpat. Sarvam hi etad brahma. All this is Brahman. Ayam atma brahma. And this Atma is that Brahman which is all this. This word, this sentence, I am Atma Brahma, very, very important. It is a Mahavakya. The Mahavakya of Atharva Upanishad, Atharva Veda, is this I am Atma Brahma. Soyam Atma Chatushpat, and this Atma has 4 quarters. This is the basic meaning of the mantra. So earlier what was said, Om iti etadidagam sarvam. Now it is said, Sarvam hi etad Brahma. Which means what? If Om is all this, and if all this is Brahman, then Om is Brahman. Brahman is Om. Meaning Om and Supreme Brahman are not different. If one thinks Om is only a symbol to make the mind quiet, or if someone thinks Om, many people do Omkar Upasana too, because they think that, no, I don't believe in form of God and all this is human being created. I just chant Om. So they use Omkar to reject Ishvara, or even the form of Ishvara. Or they will just say Omkar is sound symbol, and if you make the mind quiet with using that sound symbol, that's all that is required. That is not enough, because that will not help me to remove the cause of my sorrow. The root cause of my sorrow is I don't know who am I. Ignorance of the self. So, and until I understand Omkar as the self, and that self is not one small little thing inside somewhere. It is that truth which is here, which is out, which is everywhere, which is only one. Which is what this mantra says. Sarvam hi etad Brahma. All this is Brahman. Otherwise one will think of Omkar as a sound, and sound changes. Sound is perishable. Perishable in the sense, last satsang we said that whatever sound we create remains in the space, but till Srishti is there. After that, when Srishti goes into Pralaya, that is also gone. So the point is, one may misunderstand. Om is not just the sound. That is at one level one says, all the source of all sound is Om. It is a primordial sound, the sound which is not created by any ahat, by any friction. All the other sounds are created by friction. Omkar is the natural sound which is there, primordial sound, which pervades the whole Srishti. So someone may misunderstand that, only using Omkar to make the mind quiet. But Om is not only that sound, Om is the consciousness. So when he said Yaccha Trikala Titam, very clearly the mantra says what is beyond time, what is beyond mind is only consciousness actually. Even that Avyakrita is inert. It is Prakriti, it is inert, it is enlivened by consciousness alone. So the ultimate truth is one consciousness. That has to be known. And that is me has to be known. And so when he says here, Sarvam hi etad Brahma, all this is Brahman. Earlier he says all this is Omkar. Now he says all this is Brahman, which means Om is that supreme Brahman. That is the first aspect. Now, Sarvam hi etad Brahma. Etad means this. All this is Brahman. What is the meaning of Brahman? The substratum of the whole creation is called Brahman. The individual body, mind, intellect, what is enlivening it is called Atma, the self. And this Atma is that Brahman. That's what the next line says, I am Atma Brahma. This Atma is that very Brahman which is a substratum of the whole universe. So it's not that each one's Atma is small little thing, each one has separate Atma. inside one, and that small Atma has to mix with the big Atma. Om is that Paramatma, Brahman is that Paramatma. Om is this small Atma, and this will merge. Nothing like that. This one truth only is appearing as conditioned. Like the space is one, appears as pot space, outside space, two different things. Or a drawing room space, kitchen space, bathroom space. It is all because of the wall. Space is indivisible. In that same way, there is one consciousness alone that pervades, and that is I. So when he says Sarvam hi etad Brahma, all this is Brahman, negates the Nama and Rupa. The name and the form are, we already saw, Vacharambhanam Vikaro Namadheyam. Is gold, we say, is the truth. If you say bangle and the earring and the anklet and the necklace, that is a name you give to the gold only. Without gold, none of those bangle, necklace, etc. will exist. Those are only words. Same way, we are seeing this consciousness, calling it by different names, but we have forgotten that this is consciousness. We are holding on to the name. So that's why he says, yes, Sarvam hi etad Brahma. All this is Brahman. That is the vision that one has to have. That this is all appearance of one infinite consciousness, and Brahman literally means that which is not conditioned by time, space, and object. Meaning, Desha Kala Vastu Aparichinnam, which is not limited by time, which was, is, and will be the same, in which time is itself not there actually. As we saw, time comes into play when mind comes into play. Brahman is beyond time. So if somebody says, when did Brahman come into existence? That question only is wrong. Even somebody says, when did the first thought arise? That first thought arise itself, the question also is wrong. Because we can't know when the first thought rose. As Gurudev said in his talk, that the first time is zero. First thought, then second thought, then the gap between those two is what we experience as time, subjective time. So at first thought, there is no time. So Brahman is that which is beyond. Sarvam hi etad Brahma, when it is said, that unconditioned consciousness only is, which is beyond time, Desha, Kala Aparichinna, Desha. It is not limited by space. Think about that again. Time is a play of the mind. If mind is there, time is there. If mind is not there, time is not there. Which is why the time of the dream is different from the waking. In the dream, we may think, oh, such a long dream, but psychology will say the longest dream may be maximum 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes. Longest meaning continuous dream. But we feel on lifetime only has passed in the dream. So the dream time is different, waking time is different, because the mind state in both is different. And in deep sleep, no time. So time itself is a play of the mind. Mind is there, then only time is there. Same thing happens with space. In the creation, the subtlest is the space. All the 5 elements. In that, the subtlest is space. Space, air, fire, water, earth. This is the order of creation. In that, why do we say space is the subtlest? Because subtlety is measured by pervasiveness. The grosser is less pervasive, subtler is more pervasive. Earth is the grossest. Subtler than earth is water. Subtler than water is fire. Subtler than fire is air. Subtler than that is space. Because the pervasiveness is more, one aspect, and the qualities are less. How interesting. Lesser the qualities, more subtler that thing. Grosser the thing, more qualities it will have, because qualities means that much more change, perishability. So the earth has all the five. You can see the earth, you can smell the earth, you can taste the earth, you can touch the earth, you can feel the earth. All. But space, one can't see, hear, taste, smell, touch. None of this possible. Not perceptible by the senses. Space. That space also is experienced only when mind is there. And so that space, mind is subtler than space. Think about it. What a delusion we have when we think that mind is inside this body. Just because mind is functioning through the brain doesn't mean mind is inside the body. Honestly, from Vedanta standpoint, this body, prana, this world, and including this whole space, everything is in the mind. Mind is so much more subtler than this. But somewhere our notion is mind is inside this. Mind is not inside this. All this is in the mind. You just contemplate on that much, when the identification will shift. The whole thing, all this is in the mind. How much more powerful and subtler is the mind? Which is powerful, more subtler than space. Space cannot be, affected by the four elements. So that's why when the Gita says, Nainam chindanti shastrani, nainam dahati pavaka, nachainam kledayantyapah, nashoshayati maruta. Weapons can't cleave it, fire can't burn it, water can't wet it, wind can't dry it. It is not only about the Atma. You think about it. Space itself cannot be affected by any of these four. If you read Gurudev's commentary on that verse, so brilliantly he explains. These four methods of destruction, this weapon and fire and air and water, they can't affect space. That space which is so subtle is not affected by these four. Mind is subtler than space. Because only when mind is there, space is there. And when that mind goes into dream, this space and this world, nothing we experience. The dream space it creates. This mind projects an entire dream space, sees the whole dream world, projects the whole dream world. Then it takes it back in itself. Goes to sleep, deep sleep. Because it becomes avyakta. At that point in time, mind becomes dormant. But imagine, the mind can't be affected by any of these. Because space itself is not affected by mind, by these four. That mind is subtler than the space. Then what to talk of Atma? Definitely Atma is indestructible. Which means I am indestructible. If I identify with one BMI, then okay, I am destructible. Then I will celebrate birth also and celebrate death also. That is our Sanatan Dharma. Sanatan Dharma celebrates both birth and death. In the world, when we have delusion, then we celebrate birth and cry on death. And yes, sorrow is experienced, no doubt, nothing wrong in it. But I am saying in Sanatan Dharma, if you see, when people take the body, they will dance, many traditions, they will play music, they will burst crackers. Why? This jiva came into this world to exhaust certain karmas, it has exhausted and gone. Successfully exhausted certain karmas, whatever they are, it came for that purpose, to exhaust. Now it's gone. So move ahead. So either one should celebrate both birth and death, or one should say, I am not born, I am not dying. That belongs to the body, mind, intellect, that doesn't belong to me. So Atma is subtlest. So when it is said here that Brahman, all this is Brahman, then Brahman is that which is not limited by space, not limited by time, meaning it is all pervasive, it is eternal. That consciousness is eternal, that consciousness is all pervasive. Again, we say all pervasive from space standpoint, from this world when we see. and it is not limited by object, meaning each object has its own different qualities. The quality of this computer is different from the book, from the quality of table is different from the book, from the phone, or each one's qualities are different. But all this exists. That existence is same in all. Consciousness also is same in all. Just that living beings have subtle body, non-living things don't have a subtle body. So we don't see the expression of life in the non-living things, but we see that expression in the living being. But that existence only is consciousness. Only the expression is not happening because the equipment is different. Like the 5G SIM, if you put it in a 3G enabled device, then only 3G will work. 4, 5 will be dormant. You remove that SIM, put it back in the 5G enabled, again it will start working. So it is like that. Consciousness is not expressing through the inert because subtle body equipment is not there. But it is the same in all. So Desha, Kala, Vastu, Aparichinna is called Brahman. That one consciousness. And so when he says Sarvam hi etad Brahma, all this is Brahman. Like the waves, all the different waves and foam, bubble, lather, all this is what? Only water. In that way, we may see these names and forms and so many, subtle levels even in the creation with the 5 elements. But what does the Upanishad say? All this is Brahman alone. And that Brahman is Om. Comparing the first line of both the mantras, mantra 1, mantra 2. Sarvam hi etad Brahma in this mantra. And Om iti etad aksharam idagam sarvam. First mantra, first line. So Om is Brahman. Why it is specifically being said Om is Brahman? Because otherwise one will think of Omkar only as the sound or only as a symbol of truth. Ometi etad aksharam idagam sarvam means that all this is only consciousness, and that consciousness is not limited, that consciousness is all pervasive. Because someone may again think like that, you're a consciousness, okay, it is beyond time, what was, what is, what will be is only Brahman, is only Omkar. So Omkar is consciousness, so consciousness is inside me, one small little thing which is enlivening this BMI. No, that consciousness is Brahman, which is the substratum of the whole universe. Like on the screen, when you see the movie, every single character in that movie, the substratum is the same, is a screen only. There is no difference. That character may wear anything, move anywhere, do anything, speak anything, but the substratum is one, that is screen. Same way, the dream creator. The dream creator is one. That dream creator only is appearing as all the different things in the dream. There is no difference in those things from the waker's mind. It is one only. So that's why he says Sarvam hi etad Brahma. Now, when that has been said, Sarvam hi etad Brahma, now comes that Mahavakya. That Brahman is this Atma. Ayam Atma Brahma. So what is a Vakya? What is a Mahavakya? And what is the significance of this? That we will take up in our next class. Any questions for today? Yes. You can unmute. Kalpana ji. If that unmute icon is not there, then that is, we are sending that request.
Yeah. Namaste, Swamiji. Yeah, I got it. Okay. So the first verse says that, 1 minute. Everything is Omkara. The second verse says that everything is Brahma. Therefore, we conclude that Omkara is equal to Brahma. Yeah. And then the third line says the Atma is also Brahma. So Atma is equal to Brahma. Brahma is equal to Omkara. Therefore, Atma is equal to Omkara. That's correct, right?
Correct.
Yeah. And one more thing, I don't remember which Upanishad it was. It said something like, once you know this, Yasmin Vigyate or something, you know everything.
Mundaka Upanishad.
Mundaka, yeah. So once you know Omkara, everything is known.
Yes. Substratum, once you know, everything is known. If you want to know specific thing of the name and form, then that's a different prakriya for that. If you know gold, you know all the ornaments in the world. Now specific design, if you want to know, then you need to know also specific skills and type of quality of design and all that. But otherwise, you know all the gold ornaments. The moment you recognize gold, then you are able to know all the ornaments in the world which are made of gold.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah. Shilpaji.
Hello, Swamiji. Pranam.
Yes.
You can hear me, no? Because I don't see the.
Yeah.
Yeah. Swamiji, we just mentioned during dream also the time concept still exists, maybe with different, this. But then when this world appears to you as a dream to one, will the time concept still continue, or when world appears as a dream, there is nothing like a time concept?
See, as long as mind is there, time is going to appear.
Okay.
Only if mind is transcended, time will not be there, right? In samadhi, when mind is transcended, then time is not there. Same way in deep sleep. So if the mind is there, time is there. When we say world appears as an illusion, the world appears as an illusion is not that suddenly this will start, this world you won't see and you will start seeing some, as though it is all getting disappearing. No, it is nothing like that. World is an illusion, is in the head here, is in the clarity here. This will still appear solid, tangible only. This computer and this world and the book and the house and all this will still, through the senses, you can only see that. It's not suddenly going to vanish or in the dream world appears real or not. But when one wakes up, then one realizes it was not there. To help a person to wake up is what the understanding is, that while you are in the dream, it is appearing real, but actually it is not real. So that the person will start thinking, Acha, I am thinking this is real, so I am running behind it and so I am getting attached to it. Hey, this is not even real. Like the mirage is the best example for that. If I know that is a mirage, I won't run. The seasoned traveler doesn't run. But if I think that water is really there, then I will run. Then I will exhaust myself and I will find there is no water there. Then again I see somewhere else water is, again I run there. In time, I understand, oh, this is an illusion. So the desert traveler still sees the illusion, but knows very clearly it is not real. Same way, the person who thinks that the world is an illusion is for Vairagya. The world will still appear, but the person knows, like how childhood toys, one still plays with the childhood toys to entertain a child, but one knows there is no happiness in that. So it is like that. So as long as the mind is there, time is there. So even a person who thinks world is illusory, time concept remains. Because time is a part of illusion, please remember.
Okay.
Why is it a part of illusion? Because play of the mind. Time and space are both play of the mind, and then only this creation we can see.
So Swamiji, the presence of space is also because of time. If we say time and space greeting together,
Yeah, they can't
space
be
is
separated.
created.
You can't separate time and space. That's why Einstein also calls it space-time continuum. There cannot be only time without space, and there cannot be space without time. They both are actually combined together.
So Swamiji very beautifully Gurudev explained about the two thoughts, and then that distance between the two thoughts, we can call it as space and time, distance between the two thoughts. Time is there.
So your understanding of space has to be clear in that.
Okay.
Because when we say space, if you think that space is one separate element only, that is one aspect. That's why Gurudev explained the distance. Now he said point A, point B.
Yeah.
That distance is measured. So at point A, distance is 0, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 feet. So when we say 5 feet, then the gap between the two is the distance. Like that, the gap between the two is time. Now, if one says ki that is space, then it is not physical element space. But if you say ki the gap between the two is what I call as space, okay, then that is, you may choose to call that as space if the understanding is very clear, then there is no problem. Otherwise, one thinks, how did space element come here?
Okay.
So it's not an element like that, but the space between two thoughts is what is time, is what we say. That's why we say space and time are same in that sense. And in the world, when we actually see, unless I is not there, space and time will not be there. I as a small jiva. And so the mind has to be there first, then the projection happens. And the moment projection happens, it will be space and time together. It won't be one after the other. One can't be without the other. So from projection standpoint, it is said they both are one.
Thank you, Swamiji, so much. So the creation of mind will be duality. Can we say that when mind is there, it's duality. Otherwise, without mind, it's non-dual.
Yes.
Creation. Okay. Yes.
Hello, Swamiji. Hari Om. I have this question about mind again. You mentioned that space is not experienced, is not affected by the four elements. And space is the subtlest among all five elements, and mind is subtler than the space. Mind is subtler than the space, like space cannot be affected, mind is also not affected.
Yeah.
This is what I'm getting confused. How mind is not affected? We get affected every day in our minds.
That is because we are allowing ourselves to get affected. That's the difference between space and mind. Space as an element won't get affected because it has been created like that.
Yeah.
Mind has been created as the subtlest. It is the subtlest, but we are not using the power. So we are allowing ourselves to be affected, which is why the Upanishad says, Amrit Bindu says, Mana eva manushyanam karanam bandha mokshayoh. Mind is the cause of bondage and mind is the cause of liberation. Bandhaya vishaya sakta muktam nirishayam smritam. The mind which is bound is the mind which is attached, vishaya sakta. That mind will get affected.
That's the difference. Mind has to be liberated for not.
Mind has to understand its own true self nature also. As mind, it will not be affected, but we don't understand. We identify with the body, the grosser. So then what are the thoughts about, if you think what disturbs the mind is not mind, it is the things with which the mind identifies which are grosser than mind. So the moment you identify with the grosser, the pain of the grosser will become your pain.
Okay.
In space, that choice is not there. Space is not able to identify with the, the air or fire or water or earth because
Yeah.
that's a Jada Vastu.
Yeah.
Mind also is Jada Vastu, but is enlivened by consciousness. So, and as a human mind, it has freedom. So, it is not recognizing that freedom, which is why Gita Bhagavan says, Uddhared Atmana Atmanam na Atmanam avasadayat. Lift yourself by yourself, don't pull down yourself. That line has many meanings, but here it is a different connotation when we understand this. Ki mind is so powerful. The one who is projecting space and time is the mind, and I am not even that mind, I am that consciousness. From where to where have I fallen? I am fallen from that state of pure consciousness to not even jiva, to the level of body, and then further down to money, power, position, people, house, car, bungalow, phone, gone. That is the fall. And then I am saying ki I am very miserable. Why? Because this money I don't have. Arey, you are Brahman. You are the mind.
Yeah.
Forget Brahman. Mind itself, if I say I am mind, I will be on a different level. The real nature of the mind is made from the sattvic aspect of the 5 elements.
Yeah.
Sorrow comes because of Rajoguna and Tamoguna. Now that mind, I have allowed it to fall.
Correct. Correct. So it comes back to the self-realization.
Yeah. And choice.
Okay. Thank you. Very well clarified.
Right.
Thank you.
Is Atma the cause for individual's mind? Is Atma the cause for my mind? Please understand, Atma is cause for nothing. Atma can't be anything's cause. It doesn't create anything. It doesn't produce anything. Doesn't become anything. Atma is only the enlivener. Atma doesn't, it is infinite. If at all we say that it is the cause, it is only like how the dream, when we say, the dream appears very real to us, so we say, okay, Waker's mind has created it. Or the snake appears real, so we say, okay, rope created it. But actually, rope never produced any snake. So Atma doesn't create anything. But if we say that, yes, I am seeing this world is real, body is real, if I think this is all real, then the ultimate apparent cause of it will be only the Atma. That is, Atma is appearing as all this. But the fact is, just like the waker is lying on the bed, nothing has happened, he is not traveled anywhere, but in the dream he appears to have gone everywhere, experienced everything. It's only a projection, its appearance, like that. So Atma is the cause. If one says, one has to understand, it is not a cause like how the mud is the cause for the pot. From that mud, actually pot has got created as an effect. It is not like that. It is an appearance, vivarta it is called. Like the rope is appearing as the snake. The rope has not produced the snake, the rope has not modified to become the snake, the rope has not evolved to become the snake. It is appearing as a snake. So yes, Atma is the cause of the whole Srishti in that sense, as an appearance, but not as cause and effect. So then Atma is the cause of individual's mind and my mind. It is same, no? Individual's mind and my mind, same. Okay, last question for today. Jyotsna ji.
Swamiji, you've said that we are not, the Atma is not like individual little, and it makes the whole Paramatma, but its consciousness spread is the same all over. Why do you want us to have that vision that it's not little, but it's the same all over?
Because the moment you say it is little and different, again Raga and Dvesha will start. This Atma, that Atma, his Atma, her Atma. It becomes perishable. And the moment any limitation comes, it is perishable.
Okay.
And oneness is not seen. Both the reasons. If you don't see oneness, That is the cause of our sorrow. Suppose you see oneness even at body level, I am saying. Suppose I see that all the bodies in this creation, everything is made up of only 5 elements, there is absolutely no difference.
Okay.
Then there will not be attachment and sorrow. Because it's all 5 elements only. What is there? How is this different from this? It's not different. But we are not able to see that. We identify with this one, then we think this is different, that is different. Now I am feeling limited, so now I want happiness from there. So now I am running behind that.
Okay.
If I actually see oneness and I don't see duality and difference, obviously it's in the vision, not physically, then I won't run. I won't be attached. I won't feel limited. Because then I identify as 5 elements, I am all this. So even at 5 elements level, if I see oneness, there will not be sorrow at all. But we don't see, we see limitation. The moment I identify with only this 5 element is me, the others are not me, now attachment aversion has started. So
Okay.
that's why the Atma has to be known as one infinite consciousness, and that is the truth actually. Because Atma is not inside somewhere, no? So how it is small?
Okay, got it. So to remove the rag and dvesh, basically is the reason you're saying it.
Yeah, because that is a fact also, not only to remove rag and dvesh, because that alone is the truth. The waker's mind only has become the entire dream world. That is the truth. Now, if the waker is identifying with one dream character and saying, I am only this one dream character, and the dream world is different from me, and the dream creator is different from me, and all the people and the beings and the things in the dream are different from me, now the raga and dvesha that person will have because of the wrong notion. Because the truth is only that the whole thing is the dreamer's, the waker's mind only.
Yes, so well explained with the dream example. It just very well explained with that example.
Right.
Thank you, Swamiji.
Okay, Hari Om everyone. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.